Hi, and welcome to You've Got This podcast with Kat and Von. We're two qualified mental health professionals passionate about supporting expats in Dubai. No matter if you've just arrived or you've been here for years, whether you're single, married, or a parent, we understand the unique challenges of expat life. Our podcast will help you navigate these challenges by offering real, relatable conversations about mental health and well-being. Sometimes funny, but always real. We'll share tips, expert insights, and personal stories to remind you what you're experiencing isn't a sign of weakness. It's a part of being human, and you've got this. Let's dive into today's topic. Welcome back. We've got a very exciting topic for you today. I think it's exciting. Von's a little bit more skeptical.
No.
Okay. So the topic today is on manifesting and mental health, and are the two compatible? And this idea came to me when I saw online, and I thought it was a really interesting angle that, there are instances where this whole sort of law of attraction and manifestation sort of focus can be detrimental for people's mental health, certain people's mental health. So that's the topic that we're going to discuss today. And full disclosure, I am not a manifesting expert. I do not know all the terms and terminology. If I say it wrong, then, you're welcome to correct me. But I am interested in it because I'll just speak to my interest in it. Basically, I love the idea that people, because a lot of people are so passionate about it and so interested in it. And when they're talking about it, they're so excited by it and they feel like it's working and they feel like they just seem so alive and their goals are so clear. And I love that for them, because, anything that makes you feel good and motivated and with direction and purpose
Absolutely
makes me think, that can only be a good thing.
Right.
And what this person was arguing or suggesting, she wasn't arguing, she was suggesting that for her, she went deep into the manifestation and law of attraction. And I mean, there's countless sort of ways and methods and approaches. And she was saying that the fixation on always focusing on the positive and getting to the energetic, I'm just using the terms that they use, the energetic frequency of like abundance and so on, was almost at the cost of her feeling the full range of feelings and emotions and suppressing a lot of negative feelings. So when something negative would come up, she'd be like, no, got to be positive because obviously I don't want it to interrupt my, manifestation process. I thought it was a really interesting, thing to consider, because to me, I'd always just thought, like wonderful, like if people enjoy it and it's working for them, how can it be a bad thing? But this does make you aware that maybe if there's sort of, if you're someone that is struggling with their mental health and this sort of fixation on seeking the positive and being in the right frame of mind, maybe that is unhealthy or unhelpful.
Okay, sorry.
So she's saying that she would, like, instead of feeling...
because I was going to say, is that healthy? That's not healthy to suppress your emotions.
What is Kat saying? She doesn't agree with that. Yeah, no. But
right? But you can't always be happy and positive about everything.
Yeah.
Manifesting. You know what manifesting is for me?
What?
Having a plan of action.
Love you.
In the simplest of terms.
Yeah.
Is just, and how whatever shape
you're a doer though.
Of form that takes, okay, call it what it is. But at the end of the day, if you are an aesthetically sort of driven person, if you need to cut out things from magazines or get Pinterest going and do like a vision board.
Yeah.
And that helps you achieve your goals, 100% go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
But when things go wrong, don't blame the fact that the manifesting didn't work. Because any plans fail. If you don't fail, you'll never learn.
Yeah.
So making sure that, the things that you're manifesting, you're learning from as well if they don't go to plan. And I think, I totally get what you're saying, Kat. I can see a lot of good in manifesting things, but also being okay if those things that were manifested.
Yeah.
Is that
I think that's correct.
If they go wrong, you don't fall into a
Yeah,
deep, dark hole
yeah.
and go, well, what did I do wrong? Because you didn't.
Yeah.
You're just going to learn from that, right?
Yeah. And I think that's part, like, I do think that the sort of the consensus is that, you know, it's not just, and I think I'm simplifying it too much. Obviously, it's not an obsessive focus of only being in the positive, but there is an emphasis on, you know, feeling deep appreciation and feeling deep gratitude for what you have. And, you know, that to me sounds like good advice. Like, that sounds like common sense, right? Like, really appreciate all the blessings in your life and the
Okay.
good things that are in your life, and trust that, in inverted commas, the universe, God, you know, whatever is going to sort of, you know, help you get to that next level of whatever you want. Okay. But it's not coming from lack, and it's not coming from, you know, it's coming from a place of you already feel happy with what you already have.
Okay.
And that to me sounds like good advice.
That to me is being grounded. That to me is being a good person in society, and the treating others how you would like to be treated. Is that?
Yeah. Can you speak about, you were saying it on offline, can you tell me a little bit about your mum and her?
So my
please?
mum really believes in I think she's read every single, what is it? The Secret?
Yeah.
The Secret? So
Yeah.
that's sort of what we're talking about today, right?
Yeah.
Is it The Secret?
The Secret, yeah.
So she's read all
she's
of them.
She's an Australian, Rhonda Byrne.
Yeah, she's Australian, she lives in Australia, and she has this thing where she thinks that everything that's happened in her life, she manifested. And regardless of all the bad bits, the difficulties, the adversities, where she is as a 70-year-old woman, everything is just exactly how it should have been, because she had a vision and visual images of how she wanted it to be, and it turned out exactly how. I'm trying to find an example. So she was like, all I ever wanted, and this is where I get a bit like, well, okay, hold on. All I ever wanted was for my children to just be really happy. I was like,
this.
okay.
I love this so much.
Okay. And she goes, and Yvonne, this happened. I'm like, okay.
I love that too much.
I mean, and I always just think, yeah, but there's detail around that, Mum.
I love it.
You know, there's detail.
Yeah.
No, but look.
Yeah.
Everything. And I look at other people, and she's like comparing herself
Yeah.
to the women in her circle that did not manifest. And all their kids are so unhappy. But I'm so, it's just, it's like.
I love that she's so like.
And, you know, and she went through a divorce, and she's remarried, and, you know, she migrated from, you know, a communist country to, I mean, she's an expat, to Australia, where the culture shock back then.
Yeah.
Next level.
80s, no?
Yeah, 80s, where Australia is not what Australia is now.
True.
And, you know,
yeah.
But I manifested all of this, even though I migrated and this and that, and I had the divorce, and everything was supposed to happen. And I always say, but that's life.
Yeah. That's
life. And the person that you are, in terms of your traits, your personalities, your cognitive reframing, how you think, how you behave because of a mood or a feeling, got you to where you are.
Yeah.
However, if thinking about it consistently, I just want my kids to be happy. I just want my kids to be happy. And it's going to look like this. Like, you know, Yvonne's going to go to university, and then she's going to have this job, and then she's going to change careers, and then she's going to do this. And then they're going to, okay. But she obviously didn't. It was just happy.
But it gives her comfort. It sounds like it's a source of pride for her, and a source of, I don't want to say control, but like hopefulness, you know. And I feel like, you know, that's such a beautiful thing to have, you know. So I think there's so many things. I love that story, actually.
Do you?
I've
got so many more.
I just think it's like, you know, every mum, you know, can relate to that.
Yeah.
It's like, I just want them to grow up to be happy and healthy and, you know, lead a good life, you know.
And they always will. They always will. There are only, you know, when we get to the my kids are not happy, like, that's life as well. Yeah. That's adversity.
But you know what also, like, it eclipses, and that is this, it's like, if you were to average everything out, and knowing you as I do, thank God you're healthy, you're happy, you have a lovely life. But there are days where you're in a bad mood, or you know, so it's this like, it's just sort of, it's sort of minimizing the human experience, which is up and down.
Yes.
You know, there were significant challenges for your mum to get to that place.
Huge.
There is not a person alive on the planet that will not have setbacks, challenges, obstacles. You know, I notice it even in my little 2-year-old's life. He's 3 now, sorry. You know, he has challenges. You know, my 1-year-old, okay, the challenges look different to a teenager or to an adult, but challenges nonetheless.
Yes.
So, you know, that's human experience. That's life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's up, it's down. But if we were to average it all out, like, it's moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
And that gives her comfort.
Yeah.
You know? And I think, you know, what do you, in terms of like just to think about her mental health, like, do you feel like it's something that adds value, or it's something that she, you know, it's sort of making her suppress things or not confront things?
I'll be very, very honest. I find that it's used as an excuse. So my mum has always wanted to have a huge, huge house. They've been talking about building this huge house in Australia. I'm sure you've heard me talk about it. And, it's a process. Like with everything, it's a process. You know, you have to kind of, first you have your first house, and then the property market increases, and then you can sell the house for, more, and then you can afford to buy a bigger house, and then you can build. And it was like 4-year process to build this huge house.
Wow.
But I manifest, yes, but that's the process.
I love that you're such a realist. I love it.
I am. Am I
love
too
it.
much of a realist?
No, I love it, because to you that gives you comfort, and to your mum that is...
Yeah, and it's interesting how we see things in different perspectives.
Yeah.
But like you were saying earlier, if that's what helps you, like there is, like, there are a lot of life coaches out there. There are a lot of clinical hypnotherapists. There are a lot of psychologists, psychotherapists. Like, there's a lot of people in the mental health space.
Yeah.
And if you meet any of them that make you do better, think better, behave better, and you grow, stick to it.
I think getting more enjoyment from life, and I don't just mean like chase the positive feelings, don't chase the instant gratification, but if it increases your like quality of life and your sense of enthusiasm about the whole thing,
it increases her. I can see quality of...
What a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I did think it was an interesting thing to consider, because I've never considered that it could be detrimental. I guess where it gets detrimental, and we can touch on it a little bit, is like when you may not be addressing some underlying sort of, mental health challenges or, traumas, and you're sort of covering things up, or again, buffering or avoiding, then that can, you won't feel great necessarily. So that would be something, I guess, to just pay attention to and to tune into, that, just chasing a positive feeling or trying to stay in a high vibe state is not necessarily the best way to manage something.
But it's similar to how, we started out with this podcast. We had a vision.
Yeah.
That's where it starts. Manifesting is about having a vision.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be, like, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But I know what I look like. And this is very interesting, because I do clinical hypnotherapy, as you know. And some of our listeners don't know that, so I have to
tell them.
And I do a lot of that when people come to me and they are looking towards a goal and they're feeling stuck.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I really want to, I want to be the CEO of this particular, like, I want to get a promotion, and I want to be the CEO, and I know it's there, but I just can't get there, and I'm feeling really this and that, and there's these other, okay, fine. You know what? One of the things that I do, and I'm not imagine a clear blue sky. This is clinical hypnotherapy. I sit there, and when they're in their trance, their relaxed state, I will say to them, I want you to picture the person that you want to be. What do they look like? What are they wearing? Where do they live? What are they driving? Who's their partner? You know, and if that's what manifesting is, then yes, okay. But it's your vision of who you want to be, end game, of where you want to be. Like, how does that person speak? How does he talk? Where does he go to dinner?
Yeah.
Who are his friends? What kind of friends do, and you know, you're like, it's
what thoughts do they think?
What thoughts do they think?
Yeah.
You know, are they happy?
Yeah.
Why are they happy? You know, and you get them into that energetic, you know, that motivation of yes, okay, and usually more often than not, typically they come out and they're like, oh,
wow,
I get it, you know. But then it's about there's a process.
Yeah.
It's not luck.
Yeah.
It's not luck. People work hard for that.
And I love that.
What's your heart?
Yeah. Like, I love that you, like, because visualization is obviously something that athletes use, professionals use.
Yes.
You know,
this is the sports hypnotherapy that I do as well for athletes.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where are you?
Yeah. And bringing that sort of awareness to now, like, it is transformative. Like, a person does transform, and that is like one of the manifestation tools is obviously visualization. But where you, I think, are so, and this is so like true to who you are as well, like bringing in the action and bringing in, okay, yes, that's a beautiful feeling, and it was transformative in that moment. And now, what are you going to do? What are the steps you're going to take? And this is a manifestation tip, but it was like, so it was someone that was wanting to do, like, improve their physical fitness.
Okay.
Don't be a person trying to improve their physical fitness. Be someone that is physically fit.
Yeah.
So that's where I went wrong. I was like, trying, it looks kind of like this. Like, an athlete doesn't do that. An athlete is like, puts their gear on, off they go. They're not thinking about it, off they go. They're
like,
a professional.
I watch it with my kids are very big sporting heads, as you know. Now that I'm not believing in manifestation, here I am with them. Okay, but I think we had different ideas of what it is. For me, it's vision, and then what are the steps, and there's a process. Okay, so kids do this really, really well. They manifest amazingly, and somehow we break them down and then ruin them as adults.
Yeah.
But, you know, you'll see my middle one, Luca, he will go, so when I'm in the World Cup as a goalkeeper, you know, it's just.
Oh, I love that.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And when I'm, you know, and then when you and Auntie Lou or whatever are in the VIP box.
Oh my God, I love that.
And he just,
God,
and I never want to. And there are a lot of people, like, if you ever hear your kid manifesting something like that, do not poop on it.
Agreed.
Let it go, because that is how their vision starts.
Yeah.
The process is me driving you everywhere, you know, packing you nutritious snacks, making sure
taking
like dad doing the no. There's a whole process and steps. But there is, because I'm there doing that. You're a child. That the process and the steps have to be from the adult, but that you've got the vision. And when he says it, just that little bit inside me goes, yes, I wouldn't mind having a glass of champagne in the VIP box at the World Cup.
Get excited.
You know, because it is.
That.
And that's what it's about.
But it starts there.
It starts there. It does.
It starts in thought. And that is such a beautiful example, because it's so daydreaming in young children. Like, this is what they do.
Yes.
They're just, I was such a daydreamer. And my teachers would interrupt it and say, you know, focus on what's here. And it's like, I was just in the most beautiful visions, you know.
But it is. It's like, don't teachers always work when we were younger? Stop daydreaming.
Stop daydreaming.
Stop daydreaming.
Yeah. No. Dream on.
Dream.
Dream on, dreamer.
Manifest.
Now we're converted.
Build your vision.
Yeah. So really, I think there's a lot of really, you know, good techniques and tools that overlap, obviously, the mental health space and, you know, and various, you know, hypnotherapy and so on.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, do what works for you. If it's something that, like, really resonates with you, motivates you, makes you excited to achieve your goals, I mean, really go for it.
Yes.
And you know, it does balance out with, you know, I think this is a really key part of manifesting as well, is like, but also like holding it loosely and being detached to the outcome. Yes, set the intention. Yes, this is the vision.
Yes.
This is the big goal. How you're going to get there, you may not know all the steps. And, you know, the exact way that that's going to, inverted commas, manifest or come to be, you know, may not be exactly as you intended, but it will still like propel you forward.
Yes, and it's so, like, again, and I know I've said this so many times, but it's so important to understand that there are steps.
Yeah.
And there's a process, and it's step by step. Like there was a time where you didn't know how to tie your own shoelaces.
True story.
Right?
Yeah.
There was a time you didn't know your A's from your B's to your C's.
Yeah.
But you learnt it because
Yeah.
there was a step by step, and then you got there. And that is just as simple as that big vision that you have.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that you know, I did think that was, I love that you ended up agreeing with manifestation by the end of your podcast.
You turned me. Hold on, we have just like a different definition.
No, it's just the same thing, but a different
absolutely.
But it is interesting to consider. So please tell us, you know, what are your feelings about law of attraction, manifestation? Do you think it's compatible with mental health?
If there's a place for it, what's worked for you?
We're always interested in hearing your stories. I'm going to end on, you know, okay, this is interesting. So all of us, obviously, this is a podcast, and we are, you know, primarily sort of wanting to connect with the expat community. But that could have been someone's manifestation.
Yes.
You know, like that started in thought. You know, you don't just wake up one day and be an expat.
No.
Like there was a whole
process.
A seed was planted in your mind. This might be a good idea. A whole, you know, range of actions and supportive and, you know, amazing opportunities to get you to the point where you're on that plane and with a visa and going to land in Dubai and start your life, you know. So many of us here, you know, can maybe relate to that. You know, is that manifestation?
Yes.
Yes.
Vision.
Vision
On
and a
that,
plan.
yes.
All right. Thank you. And we look forward to connecting with you.
This has been another episode of the You've Got This with Kat and Von podcast. For more information, visit our website at you'vegotthis.ae, where you can find the show notes and many resources to help support you in your well-being. Or follow us at you'vegotthis.ae. We welcome your comments and questions, so please reach out and be part of the conversation. If you want to support our podcast, please share it with people who might benefit from it. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we invite you to join us again. And remember, you've got this.